Hello. Yeah, not great news. I've been feeling pretty ill as of today. Really tired, didn't get out of bed for ages. Just, you feel like fluey and shit like that. Feeling quite nauseous. My limbs are achy. I don't have a temperature, at least. I feel hot, but when I used the thermometer, I was actually normal temperature. And I've been dry coughing a lot as well. There's that. I thought I'd wear a helmet to begin with because it's the one Hype sent me for free. It's Chinese, I think, called a GK80 helmet. It's also got the cover I've not put on it yet, but that's new in the bag. Hopefully it's just random, weird, coincidental timing that I've got some sort of flu-y symptoms, at the same time this is going on, but who knows. Hello to everybody joining the chat. Let's hope it's not corona, but who knows at this stage. I'll keep you updated regardless on that, because I don't know. And there's no real way of getting tested for it either unless you start going through all the bollocks of phoning 111, getting them to actually transfer you. Thank you, Op4. Yeah, I unblocked you as well because, yeah, I didn't realise yesterday you were actually joking about 5G and all that stuff. I thought you were being serious. Yeah, I did a video on it today, that M17 guy, and it's awful, the one I ordered. So it's stuck on the filter now, it won't come off. I've cut my finger trying to get it off earlier because it's gone on too tight, and it didn't include rubber washers or anything, so it doesn't work. So waste of money is the answer to that. But yeah, there is a video on it. So evening to everybody, evening little vamp. Yeah, hopefully you're good insulted. I mean, again, I have a more active than inactive immune system because I've got ulcerative colitis where my immune system attacks my own body. I did do a temperature check on my thermometer, although I don't have a proper medical one. I was 36, 37 degrees, which is in the healthy range. I think it's when it's 38 point something degrees, isn't it? You're into fever mode. But as said, although I feel hot, apparently I don't have a temperature. However, achy limbs, feeling quite nauseous, lightheaded. I had a really bad dry cough as of last night and this morning. But because I've taken quite a bit of cough medicine recently, that's not been too bad recently. I don't know, partway through the stream if I end up just having a coughing fit again, but that was done in my mouth, Rag. I take multivitamins daily, and vitamin C and D are in those. So above 37, so I was pretty much at the point where it's perfect to fever then, yeah. Alright, that's good then. If you've got a sealed S6, you might be able to make use of it. Yeah, but if you look at a lot of Western countries, we've not been dealing with it like China, have we? In the UK, we are still saying, oh, despite it getting worse literally everywhere and our cases going up, we still don't want to take precautions yet. Yeah, I saw the thing. I don't know much context about that video, but I did see there was a video where an Italian guy was saying his sister was dead in, like in the bed, and the things still weren't phoning him back about what to do. You do know if you get the flu shot, you can still get the flu, right? It's just basically a flu vaccine is where they try to predict which current year's flu stuff you're gonna get. No, sadly, the title is not a joke sheet. I've got achy limbs, all that shit. I've had a really bad cough, although thankfully I've not been coughing too much recently. But I don't know if that's just because I've been taking a load of cough medicine. But well, until we get issued test kits, Victor, there's no way of knowing. And in the UK, if you think you've got it, you ring 111, and they basically say, "Oh, don't go anywhere. Stay in your house for 2 weeks." And then, it's only if you get really, really ill do they advise you go to hospital. As in the Swedish old Type 32 mask. eBay if there's any left. Yeah, exactly, Magic Platypus. That's what I am self-isolating. Well, they're hoping there's going to be a better test kit done anyway at some point. But yeah. Yeah, I've got one on order educationary. It's coming tomorrow, so that will be interesting when that arrives. No, there's no no, there's no point calling 111 at the moment, because if you call 111, what they'll tell you to do is self-isolate, or you know, they'll tell you to self-isolate, won't they? Or maybe they'll give you bad advice and tell you go to the doctors, go to a hospital, infect lots of other people. So yeah, it's the one Hype sent. He said he'll have a link if people want to buy them when he's on. And those will be about $15 plus postage. They're like modern Chinese steel pot helmets. The line is good. So we'll talk a bit about surplus in between me being ill. But yeah, the line is like leather and fabric, pretty good, with a nice buckle on them. But I've been taking paracetamol. I need to wait a couple of hours before taking mine, because you don't want to overdose on paracetamol. Not a nice way to go. But don't spam F in chat, because it stops people posting proper messages. But at the moment, I'm just trying to stay hydrated with water mostly. Well, luckily, Jennifer, this weekend I had got booked off week anyway as holiday, so it's perfect timing, really, if I have got it, that I wouldn't be in anyway. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. If I see questions in the chat, I'll try and answer them, but at the moment, again, I haven't had any alcohol today, drug either, because I thought I'd just try and keep myself hydrated with real water rather than, you know. Hopefully, yeah, it's just a flu or some sort of weird bad cough. But again, although I don't having a temperature according to thermometer, my head feels really warm, you know, and you know, not good in that regard, lightheaded, you know, very achy limbs. Yeah, that's why you get a fever. It's because your body trying to warm yourself up to kill bacteria or viruses inside your body. Yeah, rubbing alcohol isn't a solvent, as far as I'm aware. I thought solvents were their own thing, you know, like acetone or something. Yeah, I watch Dr. John's videos quite often. Survive, they're very good. And if you've been following him, he certainly doesn't think the UK's taking the right approach to this. Initially, our response seemed quite good, because they were saying, you know, check all flights coming in, you know, quarantine people as needed. But now what they're doing is not doing any checks on anybody coming in. You know. Yeah, I've had flu a couple of times in my life, Mo, but it's a horrible thing. You just feel so drained, don't you, if you've got flu? Yeah, Dow's down. All the stock markets are down. Right, Hector. I don't know if I've got coronavirus, obviously, because I've not been tested for it, but I certainly feel ill. I feel, because I've had flu before, so it feels like a flu-y type thing, but again, who knows what that is at the moment. Wow, that would be 111's advice if I phoned them, but luckily I haven't got work for like 12 days anyway at the moment, because I had this weekend booked off as holiday coincidentally. So I might, if I don't start feeling better within a day or two, I'll let the animal shelter know I won't be in for volunteering, because I don't want to risk spreading it there. Where did I get it? Could have been work. Who knows? I could turn the UV light off. The stream won't look as good if I turn the UV light off. I've been sleeping far too much today anyway. I didn't get up till like 2 p.m. just because I felt awful. I still want to be doing the stream, because I don't want to be sitting just feeling ill doing nothing. It's possible it could have been something on the mail, but again, who knows? I've been taking sensible precautions, but not going over the top. But I can't check oxygen levels until tomorrow when my finger monitor thing comes. When that comes, I'll let you know the results of it. At the moment, coffee and water. I've already answered the question about leaving the house. I'd say at this point, Vic, to use it and fuck what other people think, because your health and your family's health is more important. There was a confirmed case yesterday breaking media at the University of Oxford, which isn't far away from me, but bear in mind, most of these cases are like from 2 weeks ago, where, people have got it. Sorry. And then it's only when they're out the incubation period they feel ill. So, thank you, Stealth Camp. I've got plenty of mead. I'm just not drinking alcohol at the moment because I don't know if that would be counter, productive drinking. But which town are you in, Magic Platypus? We were doing that originally, Nico, and then they seem to have just stopped bothering. So the UK is literally doing the opposite of what everybody should be doing at the moment. Oh, oxygen level. You'll be completely fine breathing through a mask of oxygen level unless you have lots of lung issues to begin with. I'm asthmatic and I've never had issues breathing through filters. I've heard some bullshit like media has been saying recently, about trying to stop people buying masks, saying, "Oh, if you wear a mask for like an hour, you'll suffocate." No, you won't. It just feels like you're breathing normally with a slight tiny bit of resistance to it. Kids can get it, Quentin. Don't believe people saying, "Oh, kids can't get it." Kids can get it. Yeah, exactly, Jason. If you go to A&E and you've got it, you risk spreading it to a lot of people. Apparently, some. Yeah, Roman, thank you. And thank you very much, Max. I'll get to your comments in a second. He said, "Are you feeling ill?" Yes, I'm feeling ill. Let's hope it's not corona. Let's hope it's just flu. I'd never normally say let's hope it's just flu, but at the moment, fucking hell. If I have got corona or I suspect I've got it, I'll do you daily update videos telling you what all the symptoms seem to be like. So there's that. Max, so thank you very much. He said, "My family owns a small international business, so we're going to be shutting down soon. Have you heard that Evergreen Health has stopped testing people in the US?" No, I've not heard that. I don't know what Evergreen is. Is that an insurance company? Is that whatever? But no, that's not good, is it, if they're stopping testing people? Regarding doctors, apparently a doctor had tested positive in the UK who didn't know they'd got it, who'd been to Italy, and again, they hadn't checked people when they came back off the flights, even though we're still getting flights coming from like Milan and Iran and places with lots of cases. Don't bother checking people as they come in. Why would we do that? Well, delaying any outbreak is good in terms of less strain on hospitals, but the issue is that even if you're, if your systems aren't going to cope, but yeah, you don't want lots of cases at once. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Survive if I'm totally isolated. It will be live streaming from isolation. Right, the news regarding new cases is not good, but let's get it up. I'll read you the ones that have been added today. 44 new cases, 23 new deaths in China, 1,797 new cases in Italy, 97 new deaths, 165 new cases in South Korea, 3 new deaths, 595 cases and 43 deaths in Iran, 203 cases and 11 deaths in France, 151 cases plus 2 deaths in Germany, 428 cases in Spain, 12 new deaths in Spain, USA 83 new cases, no new deaths, Japan 28 new cases, 2 new deaths, UK 43 cases, 2 new deaths, Netherlands 56 cases, 1 new death, Canada, 11 cases, 1 death. Iraq, +6 cases, +1 death. San Marino, +14 cases, 1 death. A few other countries with various plus cases as well. But I think the Italy figure is the worrying thing we all need to be looking at here. Oh, I've just noticed the glands are a bit swollen luck in my throat as well. So there's that. Great. Again, let's hope it's just the flu. Well, at least it can be documented fish sticks. Yeah, again, Nico, you're completely right there. If you get corona while you've got the flu, it's not good for your rates, is it, of, recovery rates and all that, because the more things you've got at once, the worse it's always going to be. Are you confirmed as having it, Valkyrie Protector? If so, I guess stay safe as possible. Hope good health on you. But what does it feel like being in the statistics? I've got a lot of honey in the cupboard. Thank you, Alex. Right. My thoughts on China, Alex, are a couple of things. One, as I said, I imagine they've been cooking the books and lying about the numbers, but I think due to massive quarantining, they are probably getting on top of it. But when they send everybody back to work, are we going to see an explosion in new cases? Squiddy, thank you very much. So do you think that schools should close since they are now any more cases? I think they should. Whether or not a lot of countries are going to do it's another thing. But even if kids aren't horribly affected, which they might be, lots of kids could probably get out of school, give it to their parents or grandparents, aunt and uncles, things like that, So, Well, I'd say it's a lot more important trying to contain it, but a lot of governments don't seem to think so, do they? They seem to take the attitude of it will be fine, let's not hurt the markets, even though the markets are already crashing regardless of the reassurances. Roman says, "Hi, man. I was sick 4 days recently and I just recovered today. Hopefully it's just something like that instead of the worst corona." Yeah, let's hope so. I'm glad you're feeling better. I mean, I don't know. Bart I work with, who I'm mates with, you might remember seeing him on a few of the streams before. I work with him and he's ill as well. I was talking to him today and he's suddenly come down with something very quickly. So I've probably got what he's got. Let's hope it's not corona. Let's hope it's just the flu, but who knows? I've got a thermometer on order mode, but they're all sold out everywhere. Oh. I know I'm coughing. Thank you to WWS Messerschmitt. I man, hope you get better. I hope so too. No, enigmatic, because if to request a test, I would have to phone NHS 111, and then to be tested, I don't think they're sending people around your house at the moment. You'd have to go off somewhere to be tested. So again, probably using transport, probably going to a busy area. I'm just going to try and ride out whatever I've got at home unless it gets really worse. Am I worried? No. I mean, not really. I'm more worried in case I infect other people if I do have it. Let's hope I don't. But, again, the worry is infection you could spread to more vulnerable people. But again, I'm asthmatic, so that's going to be worrying. I'm just going to have to monitor how this goes. If you're on a list of my symptoms, I felt fine until yesterday evening. Yesterday evening, I had a really bad sort of cough coming on. It was much more of a dry cough than a sort of, productive cough. But I was coughing so hard in places last night, when you can feel your lungs reverberate almost from the cough. I was getting that. Today, when I woke up, I couldn't get out of bed till like 2 o'clock in the afternoon because I just felt so tired, achy, just knocked out basically. When I got up, I've been, all day feeling lightheaded, headachy. I've been feeling achy as of this evening. Difficulty concentrating, quite nauseous in all honesty, but not like I'm going to be sick, just underlying nausea kind of thing. And again, it seems like now and again I'll get quite bad coughing fits, but otherwise I'm all right. Oh yeah, Stormy, pretty much. Does that mean we'll all be fucked, Bunga Bunga? But in all honesty, if I've caught it, I imagine I caught it at work at the weekend or like a week prior at work, where you have to interact with people who can't afford to take time off, even if they're ill, kind of stuff, or members of the public you end up being in close proximity to. I won't go too much into the job stuff because I don't want anybody, getting my employer into trouble or trying to do shit that way if I say too much. I'm going to follow all the guidelines they've given me, but who knows? Let's see, can I hold my breath for 10 seconds without issues? Well, I feel lightheaded and a bit faint doing it, but I wasn't going to or something like that, so. What's some Centrum? Thank you very much, Breaking Media 5, but what's Centrum? Let me have a look. Oh, I've got some multivitamins. It's not Centrum, but I do have multivitamins that I'm taking daily anyway. Ramara says, talk to his mother. She's in Greece, and they have 83, and they close most of the schools and banned group meetings. The same happening. I think the same should be happening everywhere, but we're just not doing it, are we? Because lots of governments are saying, it might have financial costs if we close stuff down too early. Who cares if the markets are already collapsing? Let's just hold it off a bit longer and hope it's okay. Yeah, it could have been a week, 2 weeks ago, Ludwig, as we've been saying on a lot of the recent videos. Falsifia, isn't that Contagion? No, I'm not taking Falsifia, but it wasn't really the cure, was it? Well, Trump keeps blaming this on fake news. I think Trump's being a bit of a retard over this, let's be honest, even if you like Trump. As far as I'm aware, I don't have white spots at the back of my throat, though. Cool, educationary. I'll do that now and again. The oxygen meter will be coming tomorrow, so not anybody anyway. So when that comes, I can actually keep checking that and document, what my levels are each day. About 98% plus is good, isn't it? I think whenever I've been checked in hospital, it's been whenever I've been in fighting, I'm always like 99% blood oxygen or lung capacity, whatever it is. Yeah, I think that'd be the best way of monitoring, wouldn't it? It would be use an oxygen monitor. While it looks like you're getting through it at home, if you're managing to get through it, stay at home. Don't risk infecting other people. If it gets really bad, then it's when you go down the medical route. But at the moment, even if we assume I have it, what are they going to do? Risk putting me in a place with poor quarantine where doctors don't have masks and I'm going to spread it to them? Thank you, Cheat 63925. Let me load up Discord and add you. Thank you. Yeah, good idea, Londinium. I watched some funny stuff. Yeah, I know a mental bit is a good, part of recovery and all that. So I'm definitely going to try and keep my mood up. Yeah, the one I bought was about £20 Survive, but it looks like it's got a nice readout and everything. So yeah, there's that. I can't really check on webcam, but I'll see if I can get a torch or something in front of a mirror after the stream. Yeah, I feel very achy. It feels basically like I've got lead weights on my arms, or I've been, doing a lot of weightlifting recently. Like you were doing full body kind of exercises, and then, when you feel like achy the day after. Yeah, I've got all the Blackadders on DVD. What's your favourite series? Mine's probably Series 2 or Series 3. Right, the helmet I was showing earlier, Cat, was one I was sent for free by Hype, but he's selling these Chinese Type 80 or GK80 helmets, or whatever they're called. It's like a very tough sort of steel pot, like a modern steel pot helmet. these he was selling, I think, for like $15 plus postage. But most of the time I just get helmets from eBay or sometimes even car boot sales. Yeah, you did donate before. I know you did, Squiddy. Let me add you now. Yeah, anybody that's donated can join Discord. It's just best if they give me the ID about the time they donate, so I don't have to try and go back and check they really did donate. But I remember you doing it, so that's fine. Yeah, the issue I sometimes have is people saying I donated when they didn't, because let me invite you to the server. Kevlar helmets, plenty on eBay. If you're really lucky, you can get a thermoplastic helmet, which is even better than Kevlar, if your military is slightly corrupt. Post your ID to most Sly Fox. Yeah, I am asthmatic though. This is the problem. So, you know, they're literally saying on the radio and TV I'm in a more of a risk group. Luckily, my asthma is very mild. It's generally just brought on more by dust and, like, you know, pollutants getting down me. Oh look, I've got a dickhead on. I'll delete the person. Oh, the person who allowed that. You know, the person was trolling, right? But somebody was saying I'm shaming the UK because you don't know the difference between coronavirus and the flu. Well, nobody does. Matthew says, man, I want you to know that you've been a massive help to me with your advice. Helped me greatly. You're an honourable man. Thank you. Yeah, I'll definitely get checked, but if it keeps getting worse and worse. Thank you, Tim. But yeah, I got a bit of swelling there. But as I said, mostly lightheadedness, achy. I've heard lots of stuff about weird silver cures. I doubt there's any truth to that. Was this the one saying it's just the flu that Metioka was taking the piss out of, or Metica, however it's pronounced, Mr. Metica, in those videos? Thank you again, Max. He said, hope you didn't catch it. You're doing God's work. Warning everyone. I bought a mask when you said to it was $100. Now it's $400. Glad you got one. But yeah, thank you. But yeah, a lot of people now can't even get masks, just because of the fact that you know, governments are either taking them or everywhere's sold out, or, you know, all the prices have just got absurd. I did see that there were some Czech CM3s and Polish MC1s with filters still for decent prices earlier on eBay, so I've ordered some of those for to give out to a couple of people. I have to make sure they certainly disinfect them first, I imagine, but I feel a lot more like I've got the flu at the moment than the cold, in all honesty, because when I get a cold, I just get a bit of a sore throat, a runny nose, and otherwise don't care. This feels a lot more like a flu, but again, it's just the timing of it's a bit scary, isn't it? But yeah, isopropyl alcohol works very well for disinfecting. So get 70% one, or stronger, and dilute it. All right, thank you, good cats, no adverts. Let me add you. Oh, and I'm Alfie. Thanks to both of you. Let me just do that just a second. If you're on Twitch tonight, Mike, I might not be on because I might have just fallen asleep by then. Just to let you know. P2 might work, but I'd rather go for P3, P100 if you can get it, just because it's a higher chance of working, isn't it? So far, I've not had a runny nose at all, Marvin. So far, I've had sort of a bad cough as of yesterday, although that's subsiding a bit this evening. But I don't know if that's just because I've taken a load of cough medicine. Lightheadedness, sort of, achy stuff. No, I've not seen that, Richard. But if it was getting one of those snorkel diving masks and putting a filter on it, that would work. Or some sort of filter medium over the intake bit. My name's Liam, if you didn't know my name was Liam. Let me just set these invites out to people. And I'll go back to chat, sorry. There was a doctor survive on LBC today saying that in Italy, doctors are now in a lot of regions having to make the choice between, letting people live or not, or attempting to treat them just because they're too overwhelmed. Discord's like a game chat type thing, but we use it just so we can chat with each other. Could be Titan. I mean, I'd rather hope it's that, but it's kind of a bad time to get anything at the moment, because if you're needing an appointment for something to be done, I'll keep an eye on that, John. As I said, at the moment, I'll run people through the symptoms I've had so far, and then you can make your mind up what it might be. Thank you, Tad Ghostal. He said, hit the like button, you nerds. Thank you very much. Yeah, so last night, I was fine at work yesterday. Last night, I got home and was having like a really kind of heavy, dry cough, where you actually hear your lungs almost wheezing. That was setting my asthma off a bit. When I woke up in the morning, I couldn't get out of bed. I just felt almost completely drained and all that, like when you have flu. If anybody's had flu before, that's what it felt like. So just achy, lethargic. At the moment, I feel nauseous, but not like I'll actually be sick. Quite lightheaded and struggling to concentrate on things. I'll have to keep checking my temperature and log it. At the moment, I'm still in the all right range, but again, I'll have to take it every few hours and keep checking it. But again, it could just be flu, like I've been saying, because there was a guy earlier saying, you're a disgrace trying to trick people into thinking you've got coronavirus when you've got the flu. As I was saying, I don't know if I've got it. It could just be the flu. It could be something else. But I've definitely got something. And, it makes you wonder, doesn't it, when you've had cases in your area and everything else confirmed. I probably am quite pale, in all honesty. Yeah, but I mean, flu is still not something you want to get, is it? Regardless. Even with all it's just the flu bullshit around this. You don't even want flu full stop. If I had the choice between seasonal influenza and this, I'd much rather have flu. Maybe after the stream, I'll have some cognac. I'm in England for the people who don't know, but don't spam the chat with it. I don't know. Is there a map where they've got all the UK confirmed cases on at the moment? Does the John Hopkins one have that, or the BNO one? Thank you, Eric. Initial symptoms are apparently dry cough, feeling ill. Yeah, feeling very tired. Right, I've got all of those. I've not had a productive cough. Right. So I've got the symptoms of that, but that's the symptoms of a lot of things, isn't it? So we're not going to worry too much at the moment. As said, it's just I'm going to let you know as it goes on, because if I do turn out to have it, then it might be helpful for other people to kind of have a daily log of the symptoms. But again, it might just be flu. Let's hope it's flu. Let's hope it's just the flu. Right, let me just check BNO Newsroom for you and see in the UK where they've got the little dots on the map. Okay. I'll just put a link to this in the chat for anybody that wonders what I'm looking at. But okay, 2 in Torquay, or like 1 in Torquay, 1 very close to it. Brighton, 1 near Brighton, 1 a bit northwest of Brighton, 1 in Maidstone, a couple around London area, 1 in Reading, quite a few north of London. There's the 1 in Oxford, The one in Oxford isn't actually logged on this map yet, even though they said about it on the news yesterday. It's one in Carterton, which isn't too far from me anyway. Because for those of you that didn't hear, when I volunteer with the Blue Cross, that's very close to Carterton. Yeah, the map's in the chat if anyone wants to check it to see if they've got ones logged in your local area, but bear in mind the maps are always a bit behind as well. If you've got a more up-to-date map, Soap, tell us where you can find it, but sadly I know a lot of them aren't all that up-to-date. Thank you, Tim. He says, in the US, check small town, discreet hardware stores for masks. I was able to find several boxes of M95s for an older relative. What's your 4-digit thing? I need your 4-digit code as well on Discord. If you click on your name at the bottom of Discord, it will have your name and the 4-digit code. That's how you add people. And what is there anything new on Sky News? Sky News. If person dies in UK, yeah, I saw that earlier. Z56, what is that? The white East German, not East German, white West German one? I can't remember now. Sorry, my brain's not very alert today. Yeah, it is. I could ask Bart to draw it at some point, but bear in mind Bart is always slow drawing stuff. Yeah, I've got World of Meters bookmarked, but do they actually have a map where it puts them in like the specific areas in your place, like country, or is it just? Yeah. Anyway, I'll try and keep up with the stream chat. I need to see if that person posted his corrected Discord ID. So it was Tim. Right, in a minute, Tim, post your corrected Discord ID so I can add you. I won't take Lemsip because I'm already taking paracetamol separately. But yeah, I've been drinking lots of water. I take a multivitamin every day anyway with all the other medications I have to take for ulcerative colitis. Did I not butcher your name, and/or if I pronounced it correctly, or have I just butchered it now? Well, that's why I just like multivitamins, because multivitamins have quite a lot of everything in them. Yeah, I know not to mix alcohol with paracetamol. Also, don't mix alcohol with opioids, even though it's already pre-mixed like that in a lot of cough medicines. It's better than nothing if you have a balaclava or like a shirt wrapped around your mouth, but it's not a proper filter. For the person saying, should they use Old Spice aftershave if they don't have rubbing alcohol, it would do something. I don't know if it's good enough, but better than nothing. Oh, thank you. Somebody in the chat just sent me this. Let me post it here. It's got the different places in the UK and the actual breakdown of where they are. So yeah, Oxfordshire's got 5 cases now. Brilliant. So it's not just 1 anymore; it's 5. Oh. Vitamin D is most important. Most multivitamins. I'll check, Eric, if mine has vitamin D. I know it has vitamin D in it. I'll check it's in a decent quantity, and if not, I'll get some others that have. Thank you, Caroline. Yeah, heroin cough medicine used to be a thing. You can still get codeine cough medicine and a lot of other opioid cough medicines, but not as strong as heroin cough medicine. I wonder if fentanyl cough medicine will ever be a thing. Yeah, I know they're saying a long time till vaccine. That's why I think we need to do everything possible to slow it down. You know, like we've all been saying, but a lot of governments don't seem to really care about. If you know you're not going to get a vaccine anytime soon, you need to go to all the effort of actually containing it. FP2 masks are certainly better than nothing. I personally always go for P3, but FP2 is certainly a good shout if you can't get an actual P3 thing. I feel really hot. When I last checked with a thermometer, I was 36 point something Celsius. So I don't actually have a fever or anything at the moment, but I have to keep checking that. But I certainly feel like hot, and weird. Thank you, Oleg. He says, hey man, love the channel, got a C4, GP5 and 4A1. My grandfather stole a crate of GP5s, and as a kid I used to run around my village with the green filter on, still alive, so fingers crossed that let me add you. I need to check in a minute if the other guy got back to me with his full Discord ID. Let me add you. There we go. As soon as you accept that, I can... Oh, yeah, thank you, Tim. I've spotted your message now by Control-Fing your name. There we go. Right, that's both those people added. Right, let me go back to the bottom of the chat. But yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine with the green filter. It's just I obviously advise people not to use the green filters. I will a bit later, Marvin, but I wouldn't get any sleep if I did it at the moment, so I might as well do a stream. At the moment, I'm just trying to keep up with actual real comments rather than people just saying random stuff. Randomly, there's people putting pictures of me on their profile pictures, so I'll just end up blocking all those people, but very strange. Could you, in theory, open a filter and seal it with tape? Well, if you did it properly, yes, but I think most people would massively ruin that if, they did it, they wouldn't do it right. I've been all right recently on the stream, Ray, but I was coughing very badly last night and this morning. Max says, my mask came in, but my filter might not have... Your filter might not, from the look of things, looks like I have to set off my O16. Now, at the worst case scenario, that should work, even if the content isn't completely safe. But yeah, when a real filter arrives, put that on it. Can you explain why taking paracetamol is a bad idea, other than... Because I know there was a Dr. John video where he was saying it's a bad idea if you've actually got a fever where you need the fever to get rid of something, but for most parts, paracetamol's fine. What is this about the Portuguese president? Has he caught it? Have I missed the message there? ALF or AUF, put it in soapy water. Be careful because Yugoslav M1s like to melt for no reason. But if you fill up a sink with soapy water or a bit of disinfectant, put it in there and see if it gets rid of the smell. Thank you, GTA guys. Hopefully I do, but I don't know why it is. Let's just hope it's regular flu or something. Right, for the people saying call 111, let me explain something. If I call 111 and I even get through to somebody, what they will say is self-isolate for 2 weeks, or they might potentially say go into an A&E and infect everybody. They wouldn't say infect everybody. So they'd say basically go into a hospital, even though doctors don't want you to do that, but they've been advising a lot of people to do it, so they end up going in and spreading it further. In an ideal scenario, what you could do is you could phone a number and somebody could come to your house to test you where you don't risk infecting anybody. But yeah, I knew about that bit, Eric. Thank you again. That it suppresses fever. And again, if you've actually got a real fever, then it's a bad idea. But for most of the time, it's fine. So with a drive-through test centre, you think at the moment I'd be sensible driving, do you? Or I feel really ill and like I'm going to faint? Because driving there would probably end up killing yourself and other people in a car crash. Unless you have something else driving, that wouldn't be a good idea. When I had swine flu when the swine flu thing was a thing, and they literally just said stay at home. There was no testing done, so I assume I had swine flu, but I definitely had a really bad flu at the time, and they just said don't go to the doctor, stay at home, don't go to school, or anything like that, because this was it 2009 swine flu? It was when I was in like year 10, I think, year 9 or 10, or whatever the year is, like near the end of school. And yeah, they just said you've probably got it. Don't go to the doctors, stay at home for a week or two. Without being tested, I don't know Use the game, but I've certainly got something. Who will get me, Jamaria? Who will get me? Plague doctors' masks don't work, no. It depends how well the gel comes and sticks together and all that, Alex. And it's also down to alcohol concentration. So if you add rubbing alcohol at 70% in a spray bottle, that's better than like a 40% gel. But the gel will also stick around for longer. Yeah, I've said before, waterproof clothing works for PPE reasons. Entire country lockdown? Is that on BBC? Let me have a look. But bloody hell, it's big if that's true. UK prepares to ask even mildly sick to stay home. Okay then. That'll be me. There's nothing about Italy on the BBC. Oh, Israel declares a 14-day quarantine for arrivals. I'm sure the Italy thing will turn up in a minute on one of the news sites. But that's weird, Rad. Are you sure? I really don't know what could be going wrong with that, because I found most masks, the seal's about there, nowhere close to your eyes. It's not like there, it's there. Yeah, I'm not panicking as said, but it is what it is. We don't know. Thanks, mods, because yeah, there's a lot of people on tonight by the look of it trying to spam the chat. Either bots or racists or whatever else. Weirdos. Yeah, I'm glad she recovered fine. I mean, like I said, it could just be a flu or some sort of other illness, but at the moment, it's very bad timing for it, isn't it? more I mention what, Rook? Mr. MJ, thank you very much. He said, hope you don't have it. Paranoid because my older work colleagues and parents working at Sainsbury's don't help. People coughing on self scans and higher up saying we don't need masks. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's pretty dreadful in a lot of places. The amount of, like, oh, let's just have positive thinking and then we'll be all right kind of attitude, especially because there's more vulnerable people if they get it, who are in serious trouble. Yeah, I've got an oxygen blood thing coming tomorrow, so I can post results of that. Interestingly, once once that comes, I can check. I mean, hopefully I'll be 98% plus on it or whatever, and that will all be good. But who knows? Sorry, what was your Discord name? Then I'll just send the friends invite. Only Mr. MJ. Just a second. So many people on this Discord list now that it takes a while to find names. There we go. Invite to server. Right, let me get back to where I was on the chat, sorry. I heard the thing about North Korea, but again, I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah, you're right, Survive. Complete market collapse at the moment. Yeah, I know. I've got one on order. It's coming tomorrow. All right, thanks for the update on that little vamp. That sounds really serious. I'm sure that'll be on a lot of news sites soon. But yeah, so are they stopping all flights and things like that? And are you restricted to the town you're in? Sasha says, I'm starting to become pretty convinced I got it January the 5th, was sick in 2 rounds. Still, my lungs are fucked up and I'm only middle-aged man. I survived, you'll be fine. Yeah, like I said, I'm not worried I'm going to die. I'm just wondering, do I have it? Do I need to be really careful around family members to not give it to them? In all honesty, Italy's done a much better job than the UK's doing. If you think it's bad in Italy, just wait till it starts peaking in 2 weeks in the UK, or not even peaking, but starts going up. I don't know, Mark, if it's speculation that there's 2 strains or not. I've heard a lot of people mentioning it, but I don't know if there's any proper news confirmed things on it. Yeah, exactly. Pecky Necky films. There's probably quite a strong psychological aspect to it as well, isn't there? Where you become really aware of something, you're probably thinking, "Oh, is this it? Is this it?" Whereas if we didn't know about it, and I'm not saying that's a good thing, because obviously it's much better we know about it and take precautions. I imagine there'd be a lot more people just thinking, "Oh, I've got a bad flu or a bad cold." Thank you, Sniper Sight. Oh, he said I have a cold flu tablet yesterday and felt really bad. Thought my time was up, but I felt better. Positive thoughts, buddy. Thank you. What's a cold flu tablet? Just like one of the ones with paracetamol and a few other things. But going back for the UK numbers, Nordic Resilience at the moment, I think we're getting about 50 new cases a day, roughly. But bear in mind, a few days ago we weren't getting anywhere near that number of cases per day. So I'm sure in a couple of days' time it will be like 70 to 100 cases a day. But yeah, the current UK numbers are 321 infected, up 43 today, and 2 deaths. But I mean, I think in a couple of weeks we're going to be like Italy. With like Italy today, 1,797 new cases and 97 deaths in one day. Yeah, that's the big problem, isn't it, Titan? That in real life, people can't just say, right, I'm going to spend months not going to a job or something, cutting off contact with people. Yeah, case, cluster, boom. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Tim. Yeah, Little Vamp was saying that, but yeah, I mean, at least they're taking measures. Like a few people were saying, it might be too little, too late, but at least they're taking these measures. In the UK, we're still going, oh, we don't want to cancel anything. I'm sure it'll be fine. Homemade hand sanitizer is certainly a good idea if you can't get any proper hand sanitizer. Gordon Freeman asks, I didn't think Gordon Freeman could speak, but Gordon Freeman asks, is his HEV suit good for coronavirus? I'm sure it would be, but you'd have to wear the helmet, wouldn't you, with it? If you're like the front cover and you've got your face exposed, I think somebody could still cough on you. Right, I'll be on 5 more minutes or so, and then I'll head off. 5 to 10 more minutes, but yeah, I obviously want to get quite a bit of rest after doing the stream, because as I said, better get it, try and get it over with as fast as possible. And so hopefully it's just a flu, but then again, if I do get this and I get over it easily and I've had it and I'm immune, you'd hope. But my big worry would be if I've got it, how many relatives has it been spread to, or friends of the family? Yeah, we all know, Eric, I think that China's numbers are complete bullshit. I think what they're doing at the moment is saying the cases are going down and down and down to get people back into work. And then what's going to happen once everybody gets back to work? Well, if that was practical class, David, that would be lovely, living in a cabin in the woods away from everybody. But sadly, in most countries, I don't think there's enough woodland for everybody to have a cabin in the woods. For the people asking, any masks with proper filters will protect you, yes. It's not like there's randomly just proper masks that don't work against viral particulates. Thank you, Gregory. Well, I really don't think drinking any alcohol at the moment would be a good idea, Sing, but as much as I feel like it, I really don't feel like drinking alcohol at the moment. I'll check BBC News again. It wasn't on there last time I checked, but again, they might just been a bit slow putting it on. Yeah, Italy extends coronavirus measures nationwide. Let me post a link into the chat for everybody. $30 is good for an Israeli 4A1, yes. If I've already got it unbound, it doesn't matter, does it? Yeah, it's not a good idea to rub your eyes normally, but... Oh yeah, Max von Sydow died as well today. Completely unrelated to Corona, but I thought I'd mention that because he was a good actor. Italy's PM Giuseppe, probably butchering that, Conte, extends coronavirus measures, including ban on public gatherings, to entire country. This breaking news story is being updated. More details will be published shortly. Part of the problem with the quarantine was, Sniper Sight said, occupy your mind until you fall asleep. You have to watch a good film or something. Like some people are saying, watch a comedy film, like probably watch The Naked Gun or something, or Airplane, I imagine. But anyway, what was I saying? I can't remember now. I honestly can't remember what I was actually. Oh yeah, the issue was of Italy. Thank you, Flipside Fish. Let me read out your comment and I'll go back to what I was saying about Italy. Let me add you on Discord as well before I forget. The issue with Italy was, I think, didn't it get leaked? They were doing the quarantine or something, or they announced quarantine in front, so everybody like fled the quarantine. Surely, if you're doing a quarantine, you literally have to just enact it like that. Because if you don't, people are like, oh, I need to get out of the quarantine zone, and then they just take it with them. Flip Side Fish says, I would advise not taking paracetamol when you have a fever because it decreases your temperature. This is bad because your immune system works better at higher temperatures. Thank you. A few people have suggested that, right? I won't take any more paracetamol tonight despite having headaches. And we'll see if that helps, like, get everything over with quicker. A lot of doctors are saying there's young people in the hospitals in very bad condition with it as well. It's not just the old people. You know, I totally believe that. I take multivitamins and it's got vitamin C and D in there as well. No, Ben, because as we've been saying all stream, to get tested in the UK, and basically people who even want to be tested can't be tested. You know, even people who've been on holiday at risk regions, what they have to do basically is you have to phone 111, and then they'll tell you where to go to be tested. But a lot of the time, people can't be tested even if they want to. So as I said, at the moment, I'm just staying hydrated, staying at home, feeling like shit, hoping that this, whatever I've got, is just regular flu or, you know, like a really, really bad cold, hoping it will pass on its own. Thank you, Johnny Harry, or Joni Harry, if that's how the name's pronounced. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'll head off in about 1 minute, but I'll let everybody know how it's going. I'm hoping, you know, I'm really hoping that this is just really bad timing to get regular flu or whatever, you know, influenza A or influenza B, who knows. Yeah, they had loads of new deaths, didn't they, today, Little Vamp? It was quite scary. Yeah, up by 97,2463, yeah. Thank you, Lammy. He said, I'm a medical student in Scotland. Today we were told all hospital placements, so as our clinical exams have been cancelled. Not good news. Well, sorry to hear that. So do you just have to wait to do them at a later time, or what? But, yeah, exactly. So when they actually, I'm interested in this. If somebody dies, you know, and they posthumously test them, do they just do the swab as normal, and then they can find out if they've got it? But that kind of interests me because, yeah, again, how many people at the moment are dying that you'd think are dying from seasonal flu or whatever, and it isn't even flu? I had some broccoli with my dinner tonight. Survive. If I'm not dead or critical tomorrow, cheat, I will be on, even if I feel like shit. So there's your answer. What time, I don't know. I'll just have to do it when I feel most alert and able to stream in the day. Cheers, Grow Junkie Radio. I said I don't know if I've got it or not, if it's just flu, but I've definitely got something because I feel like absolute shit. The thing on the LBC that pissed me off yesterday, and it's worth listening on the catch up to this if you didn't listen. When was it Tom Swarbrick was on? They had these two separate people phoning in, basically saying it's nothing to worry about. It's not even as bad as the flu or the cold. You know, everybody's overreacting. But if I got it and was told to quarantine, I wouldn't bother. I'd go to work. You know, I don't care if I infect other people. So that gives you the mentality of how some people think about it, doesn't it? Yeah, exactly, Londinium. I'm certainly cleaning after myself. Remember, most of the masks I have, Fun with Guns, are ones that don't have filtered exhale valves. They only filter the air coming in. But we're keeping a good distance, you know, and doing stuff like that as a precaution. I always use my own towels and stuff like that anyway. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people are selfish. Because the thing is, I could understand it more when people say, look, I'm in a desperate financial situation. If I don't work, I can't keep a roof over my house, you know, over myself and my, you know, family or whatever. I can totally understand that, right? But it's when you just literally get people going, oh, this is just people making stuff up or it's not serious. I just don't give a shit. You know, that's an awful thing. Anyway, I'll head off the stream now because I want to get a good bit of rest. But a big thank you to everybody that's watched. A massive thank you to those that have donated. Have a good evening, everybody. Hope everybody stays safe and well. As I said, I'm just going to try and get a lot of rest at the moment and stay hydrated. I'll avoid paracetamol, like a lot of you have said, because as much as it's tempting to take it for, you know, like aches and pains and all that, I think you're right with you don't want to reduce a fever if your body's creating it for a good reason. Yeah, I'll hopefully stream tomorrow, but as I said, it'll depend on how I'm feeling. So yeah, have a good evening, everyone, and stay cool. Don't forget to like the stream as you go off because that helps the videos get shared. But yeah, see you all. Goodbye.